Part 3 of A Guide to Security Guard Company Operations. Now we're going to talk about the details about the 15 signs that shown to the Canadian owner of the security company that his company is in trouble. Recognizing signs that a security company in Canada is facing challenges is crucial for owners to take proactive steps to address issues and steer the company back on track. Here are 15 signs that indicate a security company may be in trouble. 1. Declining client retention rates. A sign. Clients are not renewing contracts or are terminating agreements prematurely. The implication. Decreasing client retention rates indicate dissatisfaction with service quality, reliability, or responsiveness. 2. Increase in client complaints. A sign. Growing number of complaints from clients regarding security services. The implication. Persistent complaints suggest operational inefficiencies, poor communication, or inadequate training. 3. High employee turnover. A sign. Regular turnover among security personnel. The implication. High turnover rates can disrupt service continuity, increase training costs, and indicate underlying issues such as poor management or work environment. 4. Lack of employee engagement. A sign. Low morale, disengagement, or lack of enthusiasm among staff. The implication. Disengaged employees are less productive, may provide subpar service, and are more likely to leave the company. 5. Financial strain. A sign. Cash flow problems, late payments to suppliers or staff, or difficulty meeting financial obligations. The implication. Financial strain can lead to operational disruptions, inability to invest in necessary upgrades, and potential legal or regulatory issues. 6. Loss of key accounts. A sign. Losing major clients or key accounts to competitors. The implication. Losing significant accounts can impact revenue significantly and may indicate service deficiencies or competitive disadvantages. 7. Increased operational costs. A sign. Rising operational expenses without a corresponding increase in revenue. The implication. Poor cost management can erode profitability and indicate inefficiencies in resource allocation. 8. Legal or regulatory issues. A sign. Facing lawsuits, fines, or regulatory scrutiny. The implication. Legal troubles can damage reputation, drain financial resources, and lead to operational disruptions. 9. Inadequate training and development. A sign. Lack of investment in employee training or outdated training programs. The implication. Inadequately trained staff may not meet client expectations or handle security threats effectively. 10. Poor reputation or negative public perception. A sign. Negative reviews, press coverage, or social media commentary. The implication. A damaged reputation can deter potential clients, impact employee morale, and hinder business growth. 11. Obsolete technology or equipment. A sign. Reliance on outdated or ineffective security technology and equipment. The implication. Inadequate tools can compromise security effectiveness, reduce operational efficiency, and hinder competitive positioning. 12. Lack of innovation and adaptation. A sign. Failure to adopt new technologies, methods, or industry best practices. The implication. Falling behind competitors can lead to loss of market share, reduced client satisfaction, and diminished profitability. 13. Poor communication and client relationships. A sign. Communication breakdowns with clients, lack of responsiveness, or inadequate client engagement. The implication. Poor client relationships can result in lost business opportunities, increased client turnover, and negative word of mouth. 14. Over-reliance on a few clients or contracts. A sign. Dependence on a small number of clients for a significant portion of revenue. The implication: losing key clients can destabilize finances and operations, highlighting the need for diversified client base. 15. Resistance to change or adaptation. A sign: a culture resistant to innovation, change, or improvement. The implication: failure to adapt to market trends, client needs, or industry advancements can lead to stagnation and eventual decline. Addressing the signs of trouble. Recognizing these signs early allows security company owners in Canada to take proactive measures. It conduct regular assessments, evaluate financial health, client satisfaction, employee engagement, and operational efficiency regularly. Seek feedback. Solicit feedback from clients, employees, and stakeholders to identify areas for improvement. Implement strategic changes. Take decisive actions such as improving training programs, enhancing client communication, upgrading technology, or restructuring operations. Seek professional guidance. Consider consulting with industry experts or business advisors to gain insights and develop effective strategies for turnaround or growth. By addressing these signs promptly and effectively, Canadian security company owners can mitigate risks, improve performance, and ensure long-term success in a competitive industry. Here we are going to talk about the dangers of being an understaffed security company for a Canadian security company. Being understaffed can pose significant challenges and risks for a security company operating in Canada. Here are detailed explanations of the dangers associated with being understaffed in this context. 1. Compromised security coverage. The insufficient patrols. With fewer security personnel available, there may be gaps in patrol schedules or reduced frequency of patrols at client sites. A limited response capacity. Understaffing can delay response times to security incidents, jeopardizing the safety and security of clients' premises. 2. Increased workload on existing staff. A burnout. Overworked security personnel may experience fatigue, leading to decreased alertness and performance. Health risks. Stress-related health issues can arise among employees, impacting their well-being and ability to perform effectively. 3. Inability to meet client demands. Service delays. Understaffing can result in delays in fulfilling client requests, such as providing additional security coverage for events or emergencies. Client dissatisfaction. Clients may become dissatisfied with the level of service due to perceived inadequacies in responsiveness and support. 4. Higher turnover rates. Job dissatisfaction. Employees may feel overburdened and undervalued, leading to increased turnover. Loss of talent. Experienced security personnel may seek employment elsewhere, further exacerbating the staffing shortage. 5. Legal and compliance risks. Regulatory compliance. Understaffing may lead to non-compliance with labor regulations, including mandatory rest periods and maximum working hours. Liability issues. Inadequate staffing levels can increase the risk of security breaches or failures, potentially exposing the company to legal liability. 6. Impact on emergency response. Critical incidents. During emergencies such as fires, medical emergencies, or security breaches, understaffing can hinder the company's ability to respond effectively and promptly. Public safety concerns. Delayed responses to emergencies can jeopardize public safety and damage the company's reputation. 7. Inefficiencies and operational challenges. Ineffective coordination. Understaffing may lead to challenges in coordinating shifts, assignments, and communications among security personnel. Resource allocation. Limited manpower can result in inefficient allocation of resources, such as vehicles and equipment, across different client sites. 8. Impact on training and development. Training opportunities. Understaffing may limit the company's ability to invest in training programs and professional development for its employees. Skill gaps. Without adequate training, security personnel may lack the necessary skills to handle diverse security challenges effectively. 9. Reduced business growth and opportunities. A client acquisition. A reputation for understaffing may deter potential clients who prioritize reliability and comprehensive security coverage. The competitive disadvantage. Competitors with adequate staffing levels may offer more responsive and reliable services, gaining a competitive edge. 10. Negative impact on company culture. A morale and engagement. Understaffing can create a stressful work environment, leading to decreased morale and lower employee engagement. Team cohesion. A strained workforce may experience decreased teamwork and collaboration, impacting overall organizational culture. Addressing understaffing issues. To mitigate the dangers associated with understaffing, Canadian security companies should consider the following strategies. A strategic workforce planning. Forecast staffing needs based on client contracts, operational demands, and seasonal fluctuations. Recruitment and retention. Implement effective recruitment strategies to attract and retain qualified security personnel. A training and development. Invest in ongoing training programs to enhance skills and capabilities of existing staff. A technology integration. Utilize technology solutions such as surveillance systems and communication tools to optimize operational efficiency. A client communication. Maintain open communication with clients regarding staffing levels, service expectations, and proactive measures taken to address any staffing challenges. By proactively addressing understaffing issues and prioritizing the well-being and effectiveness of their workforce, Canadian security companies can uphold high standards of service delivery, ensure client satisfaction, and mitigate risks associated with inadequate staffing levels. Now let me tell you in details about the basic of hiring security guard. Who, where, when, and how. Hiring security guards involves several fundamental considerations to ensure you select qualified individuals who can effectively fulfill the responsibilities of the role. Here's a detailed breakdown of the basics of hiring security guards, covering who to hire, where to find candidates, when to hire, and how to conduct the hiring process. 1. Who to hire. Qualifications and skills. Education. While formal education requirements can vary, a high school diploma or equivalent is typically sufficient. Some positions may require specialized training or certifications. Experience. Prior experience in security or related fields, law enforcement, military, is often preferred but not always required. Skills. Essential skills include observation, communication, conflict resolution, and the ability to remain calm under pressure. Depending on the role, additional skills like first aid or proficiency with security equipment may be necessary. Personal attributes. Reliability. Dependability and trustworthiness are critical traits in security personnel. Physical fitness. Guards may need to stand for long periods and perform patrols, so physical fitness is often important. Ethical standards. Guards must adhere to ethical standards and demonstrate integrity in their actions. 2. Where to find candidates. Recruitment channels. At job boards, post openings on online job boards such as Indeed, LinkedIn, and specialized security industry job sites. Local agencies. Contact local employment agencies specializing in security placements. Networking. Attend industry events, seminars, and job fairs to connect with potential candidates. Referrals. Encourage employee referrals and incentivize current staff to recommend qualified candidates. 3. When to hire. Timing considerations. Anticipated demand. Plan hiring cycles based on client contracts, seasonal demands, or projected growth. Urgency. Address immediate staffing needs promptly, especially if current personnel are stretched thin or turnover rates are high. Training availability. Ensure sufficient time for new hires to complete required training and orientation before deployment. 4. How to hire. Hiring process steps. A job posting. Create a detailed job description outlining responsibilities, qualifications, and benefits. The application screening. Review resumes and applications to identify candidates who meet the minimum requirements. The interviews. Conduct structured interviews to assess candidates' skills, experience, and fit for the role. Include behavioral questions to gauge responses to hypothetical situations. Background checks. Conduct thorough background checks, including criminal history and reference verification, to ensure candidate credibility and suitability for the role. Drug testing. Depending on company policy and regulatory requirements, administer drug tests to potential hires. Offer and onboarding. Extend job offers to selected candidates, negotiate terms, and facilitate the onboarding process, including training and orientation. Additional considerations. Legal compliance. Adhere to all relevant labor laws, including those specific to hiring practices and employee rights in your jurisdiction. Diversity and inclusion. Embrace diversity in hiring practices to build a well-rounded and inclusive security team. To continuous improvement. Evaluate and refine your hiring process based on feedback and outcomes to attract and retain top talent effectively. By following these guidelines, Canadian security companies can strategically recruit and hire qualified security guards who contribute to the safety, reputation, and operational success of the organization. Here, we will talk about 10 tips on conducting a security officer performance review for a Canadian security company. Conducting performance reviews for security officers in a Canadian security company is crucial for assessing their effectiveness, identifying areas for improvement, and recognizing exemplary performance. Here are 10 detailed tips on conducting effective security officer performance reviews. 1. Establish clear performance metrics. Define key performance indicators. KPIs identify specific metrics relevant to the role, such as incident response time, patrol effectiveness, client feedback scores, and adherence to protocols. Objective standards. Use measurable criteria to evaluate performance objectively, ensuring consistency across reviews. 2. Regularity and consistency. Scheduled reviews. Conduct performance reviews at regular intervals, such as annually, semi-annually, or quarterly, to provide ongoing feedback and track progress. The consistent approach. Maintain a standardized review process across all security officers to ensure fairness and reliability. 3. Preparation and documentation. Gather data. Collect performance data throughout the review period, including incident reports, client feedback, and supervisor observations. Review documentation. Prepare for the review by reviewing past performance evaluations and any relevant disciplinary actions or commendations. 4. Conduct constructive feedback sessions. A two-way communication. Encourage open dialogue during the review to discuss strengths, areas for improvement, and career goals. Specific examples. Provide specific examples of performance instances to illustrate feedback points effectively. 5. Recognize achievements and contributions. Highlight successes. Acknowledge and commend security officers for outstanding achievements, exemplary behavior, and contributions to team success. Positive reinforcement. Use positive reinforcement to motivate and encourage continued high performance. 6. Address areas for improvement. Constructive criticism. Discuss areas where performance may need improvement, focusing on actionable steps and training opportunities. Development plans. Collaborate on development plans to support skill enhancement and career growth. 7. Set clear goals and expectations. SMART goals. Establish specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound SMART goals for future performance. Performance expectations. Clearly communicate performance expectations, job responsibilities, and company policies. 8. Training and professional development. Training needs. Identify training needs based on performance gaps or emerging industry trends. Investment in skills. Support ongoing professional development to enhance knowledge, skills, and certifications relevant to security roles. 9. Evaluate soft skills and professionalism. Customer service. Assess interpersonal skills, customer service delivery, and client relations. The ethics and integrity. Evaluate adherence to ethical standards, company policies, and regulatory requirements. 10. Follow-up and support. The action plan. Document agreed-upon action plans and timelines for improvement or development. Follow-up meetings. Schedule follow-up meetings to review progress, provide additional support, and adjust goals as needed. Additional considerations. Legal and compliance. Ensure performance reviews comply with labor laws and privacy regulations regarding employee information and documentation. A feedback mechanism. Solicit feedback from security officers regarding the review process to continuously improve its effectiveness and fairness. By implementing these tips, Canadian security companies can conduct thorough and constructive performance reviews that contribute to employee development, enhance operational efficiency, and maintain high standards of service delivery. Next, we'll be talking about what are the things the Canadian owner of the security company ought to know before he fires a security guard. Before a Canadian owner of a security company decides to terminate a security guard, it's crucial to consider several important factors to ensure the process is fair, legally compliant, and handled with sensitivity. Here are detailed considerations. 1. Legal and regulatory compliance. Employment standards. Familiarize yourself with provincial labor laws regarding termination procedures, notice periods, severance pay, if applicable, and grounds for dismissal. Human rights. Ensure termination decisions do not violate human rights laws, including protections against discrimination based on factors such as race, gender, disability, or religion. Union agreements. If the security guard is unionized, adhere to collective bargaining agreements and consult with union representatives as required. 2. Documentation and due process. Performance records. Maintain accurate records of the security guard's performance evaluations, disciplinary actions, and any incidents leading to the termination decision. Investigation. Conduct a thorough investigation into the reasons for termination, including gathering evidence and giving the guard an opportunity to provide their side of the story. Due process. Provide the guard with written notice of termination and an opportunity to respond or appeal, following procedural fairness principles. 3. Just cause or reasonable grounds for termination. If performance issues, document instances of poor performance, misconduct, or violations of company policies that justify termination. A misconduct. Grounds for dismissal may include theft, dishonesty, insubordination, or behavior endangering safety. A probationary periods. If the guard is within a probationary period, termination may be easier, but still requires adherence to contractual or statutory requirements. 4. Alternative measures and support. A progressive discipline. Consider whether progressive discipline measures, warnings, probation periods, etc., could address the issue before resorting to termination. Support resources. Offer support resources, such as employee assistance programs, EAPs, or counseling, if the termination relates to behavioral or personal issues. 5. Communications and confidentiality. A confidentiality. Maintain confidentiality throughout the termination process to protect the guard's privacy and reputation. The communication plan. Develop a communication plan for notifying affected parties, including clients and other employees, while respecting confidentiality and privacy laws. 6. Security and access considerations. The immediate actions. Plan for immediate revocation of access to client sites, company property, and sensitive information upon termination to prevent security risks. A escort policy. Implement policies for escorting terminated guards off the premises to ensure safety and prevent potential incidents. 7. Employee rights and benefits. The final pay and benefits. Calculate and provide the guard with final wages, accrued vacation pay, and any other entitlements promptly upon termination. In notice period, comply with statutory notice requirements or provide pay in lieu of notice, depending on the circumstances and contract terms. 8. Legal counsel and HR expertise. A consultation. Consider seeking legal advice or consulting with human resources professionals to ensure compliance with legal obligations and mitigate legal risks. The internal policies. Align termination decisions with company policies and procedures, ensuring consistency and fairness across all employees. 9. Post-termination support. The exit interviews. Conduct exit interviews to gather feedback and insights that could improve organizational practices and employee relations. Transition assistance. Offer guidance on job search strategies or referrals to career services, demonstrating a commitment to supporting the guard's transition. 10. Review and learn. Review process. After termination, review the circumstances leading to the decision and assess whether policies or practices need adjustments to prevent similar situations in the future. A continuous improvement. Implement lessons learned to enhance hiring practices, employee management, and conflict resolution strategies within the company. By carefully considering these factors and ensuring compliance with legal requirements, Canadian security company owners can navigate the process of terminating a security guard with fairness, professionalism, and respect for all parties involved. This approach helps maintain a positive workplace culture and protect the company's reputation within the industry. Here, let me tell you what is SUTA and how does it work in USA and what is the similar system in Canada that the Canadian owner of security company should know about. In the context of employment taxes and insurance, SUTA, State Unemployment Tax Act, is a term used in the United States, specifically referring to state-level unemployment insurance taxes that employers must pay to fund unemployment benefits for eligible workers who are laid off or terminated. Here's how SUTA works in the USA and its Canadian counterpart. SUTA, United States. 1. Purpose. SUTA funds unemployment benefits administered by state labor departments to support workers who lose their jobs through no fault of their own. 2. Employer responsibility. Taxation. Employers are responsible for paying SUTA taxes based on a percentage of their employees' wages, up to a maximum taxable wage base set by each state. Reporting. Employers must report wages and pay SUTA taxes quarterly or annually, depending on state requirements. 3. Unemployment benefits. Eligible employees can claim unemployment benefits if they meet state-specific criteria, including recent employment and earnings requirements. Canadian equivalent. In Canada, the equivalent of SUTA is the Employment Insurance (EI) program administered by the federal government through Service Canada. Here's how it compares. 1. Purpose. EI provides temporary financial assistance to eligible individuals who have lost their jobs, are unable to work due to sickness, maternity, or parental leave, or are caring for a newborn or adopted child. 2. Employer responsibility. Premiums. Employers contribute to the EI program by deducting EI premiums from employees' wages and paying matching employer premiums. The payment. Employers remit EI premiums to the Canada Revenue Agency, CRA, along with other payroll deductions. 3. Unemployment benefits. Similar to the U.S., eligible individuals can receive EI benefits based on their employment history and specific circumstances. Benefits include regular benefits for job loss, sickness benefits, maternity and parental benefits, and compassionate care benefits. Key differences. The administration. SUTA is administered by individual U.S. states, each setting their own tax rates and wage bases, while EI is federally administered across Canada with standardized rates. Tax rates. SUTA tax rates vary by state and employer experience rating, while EI premiums in Canada are set by the federal government and adjusted annually. Coverage. EI in Canada covers a broader range of situations beyond just unemployment, including maternity, sickness, and parental leave. Considerations for Canadian security company owners. For Canadian security company owners, understanding the EI program is essential for compliance with payroll tax obligations and providing support to employees during periods of job loss or other qualifying situations. It's crucial to calculate and remit premiums. Ensure accurate calculation and timely remittance of EI premiums to the CRA. Comply with regulations. Follow federal regulations related to EI contributions, reporting, and employee eligibility. Employee benefits. Understand how EI benefits support employees and factor these considerations into overall workforce management and financial planning. By maintaining compliance with EI requirements and understanding the similarities and differences between SUTA in the US and EI in Canada, security company owners can effectively manage their payroll responsibilities and support their employees through various employment-related situations. To continue here, we are going to learn the EI in details about how the EI program works in Canada for the security firm and how the Canadian owner of the security company keep his security guard billing rate low. How the EI program works in Canada for security firms. The employment insurance EI program in Canada is crucial for both employers, including security firms and employees. Here's how it generally operates and what security company owners should know. 1. Premium payments. Employee contributions. Employees contribute to EI through payroll deductions, which are automatically withheld from their wages. The employer contributions. Employers are responsible for matching these contributions and remitting them to the Canada Revenue Agency, CRA, along with other payroll deductions. 2. Eligibility and benefits. A qualifying criteria. To be eligible for EI benefits, individuals must have worked a certain number of insurable hours in the preceding weeks or months, depending on the region and specific circumstances. Types of benefits. EI benefits include regular benefits for job loss, maternity and parental benefits, sickness benefits, and compassionate care benefits, among others. 3. Claim process. The application. Employees who become unemployed or meet other eligibility criteria can apply for EI benefits through Service Canada. Review and approval. Service Canada reviews each application to determine eligibility based on the individual's work history and reason for unemployment. The payment. Approved beneficiaries receive regular payments to help replace a portion of their lost income during the period of unemployment or other qualifying circumstances. 4. Employer responsibilities. Remittance. Employers must accurately calculate and remit EI premiums to the CRA on time, along with other payroll deductions. Reporting. Employers provide necessary payroll information to the CRA, including earnings and deductions related to EI. 5. Managing costs and compliance. Cost management. Security firms can manage costs related to EI by accurately budgeting for payroll expenses, including EI premiums, and ensuring compliance with all relevant regulations. Minimizing employee turnover. Retaining skilled employees can reduce the frequency of EI claims and associated costs. Compliance. Adhering to EI regulations, such as accurately reporting earnings and deductions, helps avoid penalties and maintain a positive relationship with Service Canada. Keeping security guard billing rates low. Managing billing rates effectively is essential for profitability and competitiveness in the security industry. Here are strategies Canadian security company owners can consider to keep billing rates low. 1. Operational efficiency. Optimize scheduling. Efficiently schedule security guards to match client needs while minimizing overtime and idle hours. Technology integration. Implement technology solutions like patrol tracking systems and client management software to improve operational efficiency. 2. Training and retention. Invest in training. Provide comprehensive training to security guards to enhance their skills and reduce on-the-job incidents. Retention programs. Develop retention strategies, such as career development opportunities and employee recognition programs, to reduce turnover. 1. Cost management. Vendor relationships. Negotiate favorable terms with suppliers and service providers to lower procurement costs. Equipment maintenance. Regularly maintain and repair security equipment to extend its lifespan and avoid unexpected expenses. 3. Client relationships. Value-added services. Offer additional services, such as risk assessments or emergency response planning, to increase client satisfaction and justify billing rates. Long-term contracts. Secure long-term contracts with clients to provide stability and predictability in revenue streams. 4. Financial planning. Develop detailed budgets that account for all expenses, including payroll, insurance, and operational costs. Monitor performance. Regularly review financial performance and adjust strategies as needed to meet profitability targets. By understanding and effectively managing the EI program requirements and implementing strategies to control billing rates, Canadian security company owners can optimize their operations, enhance client satisfaction, and achieve sustainable business growth. Now let us moving to another topic, and below are the details about how a strong sexual harassment policy is crucial for the Canadian security company. A strong sexual harassment policy is crucial for Canadian security companies to create a safe and respectful workplace environment, protect employees' well-being, and mitigate legal and reputational risks. Here's a detailed exploration of why such a policy is essential and what elements it should include. Importance of a strong sexual harassment policy. 1. Legal compliance and liability reduction. A human rights legislation. Canadian human rights laws prohibit sexual harassment in the workplace. A robust policy demonstrates compliance with these laws and helps shield the company from legal liabilities. A workplace safety ensures employees feel safe and respected, fostering a positive work environment and reducing turnover and absenteeism. 2. Protection of employee rights. A clear guidelines defines what constitutes sexual harassment, ensuring employees understand their rights and avenues for recourse. The confidential reporting provides confidential channels for employees to report incidents without fear of retaliation, encouraging early intervention and resolution. 3. Organizational reputation. The public perception demonstrates the company's commitment to ethical practices and employee well-being, enhancing its reputation among clients, stakeholders, and the community. Retention and recruitment attracts and retains top talent by promoting a culture of respect and inclusivity. 4. Operational efficiency. Reduced disruption minimizes workplace conflicts and disruptions that can arise from harassment allegations, allowing employees to focus on their duties. A cost savings avoids the financial costs associated with legal fees, settlements, and productivity losses resulting from unresolved harassment incidents. Key elements of a strong sexual harassment policy. 1. Definition and examples. A clear definition clearly defines sexual harassment, including verbal, physical, and visual conduct that creates a hostile or intimidating work environment. The illustrative examples provide specific examples of prohibited behavior to guide employees in recognizing and addressing harassment. 2. Reporting procedures. A multiple avenues outlines multiple reporting channels, such as direct supervisors, HR personnel, or designated harassment officers. The confidentiality ensures confidentiality during the reporting and investigation process to protect the privacy of all parties involved. 3. Investigation and resolution. A prompt investigation requires timely and impartial investigation of complaints conducted by trained personnel. A fairness ensures fairness and due process for both the complainant and the accused, adhering to procedural fairness principles. 4. Consequences and discipline. A consequences specifies potential consequences for substantiated harassment up to and including disciplinary action, termination, or legal prosecution. A training and awareness provides regular training on the policy and its implications for all employees, supervisors, and managers. The continuous improvement regularly review and update the policy to align with legal standards, industry best practices, and organizational changes. 5. Leadership commitment. A top-down support demonstrates visible commitment from senior management to uphold a zero-tolerance approach to sexual harassment. A cultural integration embeds anti-harassment principles into the company's culture, values, and codes of conduct. 6. External resources. External support offers information on external resources, such as legal aid or counseling services, available to employees affected by sexual harassment. Implementing and maintaining the policy. Communication. Communicate the policy clearly and regularly to all employees, ensuring understanding and compliance. Feedback mechanisms. Establish feedback mechanisms to assess the effectiveness of the policy and address any concerns or gaps. Documentation. Maintain thorough documentation of all incidents, investigations, and actions taken in response to harassment complaints. By implementing a comprehensive sexual harassment policy, Canadian security companies can foster a respectful workplace culture, protect their employees, and uphold legal and ethical standards, ultimately contributing to long-term organizational success and sustainability. This is the end of part 3 of the audio of A Guide to Security Guard Company Operations.